guys, it's Chris again with Guyby Outdoors. We're going to give a afternoon sit here in this extreme heat. We're up in the 70s. Yesterday was actually up to 77, 78 degrees, and I haven't been getting any movement on the cameras until early this morning, late last night, and had a couple of does show up right at like last light, and had some in this morning. So I'm going to do an afternoon evening sit here. It's starting to cool down a little bit. I'm back over here at the blind. I was going to go over to my stand where I have on another property. Unfortunately, just as I was getting ready, I saw a bunch of bird and squirrel hunters coming through. So at that point I figured once they got dogs out there running around and shotguns, there's whatever was around there is going to be gone. So I decided I guess I'll come here. The wind's right. It's blowing out of the southwest. It's out of the southwest, so it's blowing northeast, which is perfect for this what used to be a cornfield. About 4 days ago they cut all the cornfield down, so now there's just a ton of corn cobs and roughage laying around, but also a lot of corn itself, just a lot of corn. So, you know, hey, free bait, right? So I'm going to see if it maybe closer to dark, if I get a little lucky and get something in. It's extremely windy today, way too windy to try to use my compound. It's within 40 yards, my arrow would be moving 3 to 4 inches. It's too windy. We've got excessive winds over 12 to 16 miles an hour and above. So we back out with the center point crossbow, and hopefully that'll have enough power to keep me on target. I'll try to adjust for the wind, but usually at 50 yards, even in strong winds, I've only had this thing move maybe 1.5 inches. So that's why I tell everybody, practice with what you're hunting with. Practice with your broadheads, practice with your lighted nocks if you're using them, practice with whatever arrows you're going to use. I buy 2 sets of everything. I match everything on weight, and I go out in the worst conditions, raining, wind, everything I can to the range. I go out on walking ranges. Half the time I spend doing this sport is actually just practice, over half of it, and it's that, to me, it's fun. It's like going to a golf course on a walking range. So if you have that advantage in your area, take it. It's a good shot. Fun times, actually. Get you and your buddies together. It's kind of like playing golf. Like I said, it's fun. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. If anything happens, I'll keep you guys updated. If you're interested, like I said, I'm shooting the Center Point Sniper 370 using the Mayhem Carbon Express arrows. I got nocturnal lights on the back. I'm going to put the Montec G5s on here, or the G5 Montec, whichever. Yeah, G5 Montec. I have actually shot these. I've shot them through wood. I have shot them at targets with my field points. Everywhere my field point goes, these broadheads right at it. And I've actually went through plywood and still could sharpen the blade and use it. I wouldn't, but I could. So anyways, that's what I'm doing there. And for those of you who haven't seen the crossbow before, I want to kind of be careful here with it, because it is cocked and ready to rock here. Oh, this is the Center Point 370. I have a lot of people that are talking about all of their bows that are going over 400 feet per second. They're having problems with limb damage, strings. I have paid attention to some of the other channels and some of the other reviews, and it's not an issue to me. It seems to be not an issue with the manufacturing, it's the issue with the speed. Every single over 400 foot per second bow that has been reviewed has had issues at one point in time or another, and there's an opinion online that 400 feet, 400 psi might be all that these bows are statically able to adjust to and hold pressure. The vibration, everything may be too much for a limbed crossbow. I mean, I know they're now coming out with, you know, arrow guns that are using compressed air and like arrows coming out of a tube, but I don't know what to say other than that about crossbows that are shooting over 500 or 400 feet per second. If you're having good luck with it, more power to you. But most of the issues have been coming, as far as the reports have been coming from crossbows over 400 feet per second, and now there's an opinion online that says that it's not the manufacturing, it is that 400 feet per second is where we're at as far as technology goes and the materials being able to use to support that type of vibration. I don't know, 370 feet per second to me is more than ample. If I need to go above that, I'll get something with black powder, if you know what I'm saying. So but yeah, I like my bow. I've had it for over 3 years now. It shoots true. I take it to the range on a regular and make sure, and I've only had to adjust the scope probably twice over the last 3 years, and that was only a couple of clicks here and there just from, you know, transport and moving around. But other than that, I take the range 50 yards out, and I'm shooting a grouping, you know, less than a grapefruit. I can't complain about that, and that's with field points and broadheads. So, but I'm going to get here to it. I'm going to start making some calls and see if I can't get something to respond. I'm hoping that they basically come out here for a little mini food plot with all of this green grass and all of the corn just sitting out here. And of course, now with all the cornfield gone, you can see that I'm only 100 or 200 yards off the road. So yeah, but hey, they were on camera here last night and this morning, so hopefully they'll come back through, and this is the beginning of what could be a good rut. So we'll talk to you guys later, and appreciate you coming with me. Well guys, I'm freaking shaking. I'm sitting here looking around, and as I look over my left shoulder, I see the outline of a deer for a minute. I had to kind of focus on it to see if it was a deer, and as I focused, I seen him lower his head. It was a massive buck, by far the biggest deer I have ever seen on public or anywhere. And I'm so freaking mad because I wasn't even set. It was literally right here at probably about 40 yards. I don't know what to say. I grunted, I called, because he was only there in the window for just a split second, and he moved through. And then once he got out and turned and started slowly kind of just trot away from me, I'm guessing he's locked onto a scent. I couldn't get him to come back for nothing. He didn't blow. He didn't run off. He was just preoccupied. When I say a massive buck, I mean like put a saddle on him. Oh. Well, I guess maybe I'll shut the hell up and get back to it. I was unfortunately on the phone with my wife. She called to see what time I was coming in, and as I hung up, I looked over my shoulder, and there he was. So we'll get back to it. We'll catch up with you guys later. rocks rustling or maybe a tree fell, but whatever it was pretty loud. Didn't sound like a tree. We've got about 20 minutes left of legal night, and then we'll have to pack it back in and back out to the Jeep. If I don't get anything until then, I'll catch you up when we get back out to the Jeep. Well, guys, we made it back to the Jeep. It got dark. I didn't hear anything else. There was no other movement. But, you know, overall, it was one of the best sets I've ever had, ever. I don't think I've ever been on public land and had a trophy buck walk within 35 yards of me, let alone in one of my shooting lanes. If I would have been faster on the draw and already had my bow in my hand ready, I would have a trophy right now. That he was amazing. 8 to 10 point, big body, everything a deer hunter dreams of. So, but I didn't get him. He kept moving through the lane too quickly, and by the time I had my bow up and had the sights on him, he had already moved into some thicker timber, and I tried calling and grunting to him to get him to come back. I needed him to turn back to the right to come into another shooting lane or go back the way he came. He did not. He instead went the only direction I could not do anything with, and that was left. He came out to the field edge and took a left and followed the field edge the rest of the way down. I could see him, but there was no way to shoot at him. I would have been shooting through, you know, 4-inch wide trees and saplings and everything else, and that's just not good for an arrow. So if you can't do it ethically, don't do it at all. But it was still a great set, beautiful day. I'm just glad the deer are up and moving again, even during this heat. So chalk one up for experience and enjoy the stories to tell. So until the next episode of the next adventure, I appreciate you guys joining me. Hit the bell notification, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, get outdoors, get living, and I'll see you next time on God Be Outdoors. Bye.